James, you were telling me earlier that you said your art literally saved you.
Yes.
So can you explain? You want to tell us the story?
Yeah. I mean, it's exactly what I express in my book, Beyond the Event Horizon, my first poetry book, self-published by Let It Flow Publishing. And I mean, there was a period in high school where I was going through a lot of emotional things, like trying to fit in and trying to understand who I was at the time as a young man, young black man, and a quote unquote multicultural school system. A lot of people don't know I'm actually from Hackensack, and I actually was born in Inglewood and moved to Hackensack and was raised in Hackensack, and you know, it's not as diverse as people may think, or people may, or what Hackensack wants to say it is. There's a lot of institutional racism going on and still going on there, and
on every level,
on every level, and so it was me trying to figure out, like, my place or my purpose, and there was, I just laid on the table. There was suicidal thoughts. There was, why am I here? And poetry came to me at a time where I probably was literally on the edge. And I found, I always wrote thoughts, but I never really considered it poetry. To me, it was like, kind of like writing a journal, and it wasn't until a friend of mine got a hold of one of my works somehow and was like, yo, this is poetry, man. Like, you need to be performing this, man. And from that point on, I started getting a glimpse of what it meant to be a poet. But I still didn't consider myself, a poet. It wasn't until, I would say, late 99. That's how old I go back. But it wasn't until late 99 where I came across a flyer. It was to Bogey's Poetry. I forget the name of the venue at the time, but it was Bogey's. And that's when I ran into poets like, Talam AC and Lamar Hill. And even a little before that, I ran into Flo. Flo Mentals was the first poet that taught me what poetry is truly about. And it's just having no limits and being free. And he exemplifies that in every aspect of his work. And I to this day, he's like a real down-to-earth brother to me. And one of the few poets that I'm truly, truly close to, and taught me a lot in this game. And when I went to Bogey's, it was like, man, this is it. This is what, this is what I've been searching for. This is that feeling that, I needed.
Almost like salvation.
Yeah, pretty much. Wow. And it literally saved me. It literally saved me.
I love that.
Mm-hmm.
Wow.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. And this is why I just can't run from it. I tried, believe me, I tried to stop writing.
You can't backslide.
Yeah, right? You can't. Yes, sir.
Can't go back.
Yeah.
No more.
That's right. Can't go back no more.
Oh, man. That's funny. That's good stuff.
Mm-hmm. But this is what brings me to, now it's just, taking it to the next level. And,
I love to hear that.
Yeah, we got to, man. I mean, we owe it to the ones before us, to take it to the next level, because they paved the way, and it's us to take the baton and keep this beautiful art form alive and breathing and saving more lives like me.
Yeah. I love to hear you say that. I feel the same way. And I like that you say taking it to a next level, because people who hear the YouTubes need to understand there are steps to this game. Mm-hmm. Because I say it over and over again, mass culture has really put has really twisted our heads. It's not realistic to just come into the game
Right.
and go to the top
Right.
of the mountain.
Oh yeah.
And if it's set up that way, it's going to be a strong fall down. It's going to be a hard fall down. So you need to know, you need to come in, either be mentored by people or come in and be around a community or in a community. Learn who you are, learn your skill set, learn about the gift that you have. I'm really saying the same thing. And then begin to grow.
Yeah. Oh yeah. And know your history.
Yes.
Know
Yes.
your
Yes.
history.
Yes.
So you have a foundation. You know where to lift off from there. You know?
Right. And you're talking about specifically a foundation in the arts or in the right. Because if you don't, it's almost like the kid that has no father or has no mother, and they come out here, and it's like you're missing developmental stages or like that. I don't want to say that we have poets or spoken word artists out there that may have been maybe missing developmental pieces.
Yeah.
And so maybe this is why you're not functioning within the community as well as you should or maybe can.
Yeah.
I just put that out there.
Yeah, it's just like anything that you perform, or the performance aspect of poetry. You have to do your homework. You have to practice. You have to, there's an art to it. You know what I'm saying? And that's what it is. Art. Art is
came full circle.
Yeah. Like you have to, take the time. Sometimes it's, like I find like a lot of like my older pieces. I even go back and say, okay, what was I feeling here? Okay, and what do I feel now, and how can I, you know what I'm saying? Like, it's constantly evolving.
Isn't that beautiful?
Yeah.
Because that's the artist.
Yeah.
That's the artist. And when I started this series, the name of the series is The Artist Recreates the World. And I named that, I can't remember where I pulled that idea from, but the more I get into this, I realize as artists, we don't really believe that.
Right.
Because once we really believe that, then we would really reshape our world.
Right. True.
On every level. That's what we're here for. I mean, this is what we're here for. But again, here comes the mass culture defining what art should be, and it's in this corner, and it's this place. It should be funded this way, and it can just be here and just be here. No. Artists, come.
That's just like, I think Mos Def said it perfectly. He said, people ask why, how can hip hop get better? He said, hip hop don't get better until the people get better. I mean, that I can't say it even more perfectly. I mean,
so simple.
That.
It's simple, and it hits the boom right on the head. Right.
Yeah. So wherever the people is going, that's where the art is going. So you either are taking the art to a good place, or you're taking the art to a bad place.
That's why I feel deep in my heart that this series that we're doing amongst the artists is so important, because I was talking to Lisa Conrad the other day, and we were talking about we need to communicate more. We're never going to get 72 artists together or 50 artists together. Or even if we get 100 or 200, 500 artists together, we're not going to be able to talk about all the issues.
Oh, never. Yeah, it's too many.
But we can use social media, and we can use the technology to begin to start different dialogues.
Right.
And create our own little organizations. Because in a real sense, and I'm going to go back to church again, because I don't know how much you know about church. I know I was brought up in church, and I won't get into it. But if you think about it, we have to appropriate or use principles that the first church used.
Right.
We need cell groups, strong cell groups that have certain skill sets within the cell group that communicate, and the cells communicate with each other. So we can learn how to get funding, So we can learn how we can have core groups that can be self-existing. They can maintain themselves over longer periods of times, and on and on. You can fill in the gaps. I don't know. I'm just going along.
No, that's.
I'm just coming along. I'm just learning as I talk to you and the artists. This is what's coming out of it.
Basically, what you're talking about is just the structure of a corporation.
Well,
they have different departments. You know what I'm saying, and they all work.
All right, thank you.
I mean, that's.
Thank you.
You know,
I don't like to talk about the corporate world because I started as a fine arts major, and I knew I was an artist. I was actually under Dr. Ben Jones. I was trained. I should say trained, but I took courses on him. But I was lured to the corporate world, you know, because the corporate world and the suits and everything. But after a while, I've come full circle. I'm back out here with the artists.
Yeah.
This is
we need the structure, but not the mentality. You know what I'm saying? Like,
tell them.
Yeah.
I'm gonna give you the whole. You can preach on that now.
I mean, that's
it.
Yeah, like that's what would take, you know, Jersey poetry as a whole.
Let's.
Yeah.
We're going to start another segment.
Okay.
James is going to be. I had this idea in my head. The Church of the Living Artists, and he's going to give the message today. Stay tuned.